Hey folks, welcome to the video. Let's get through the basic guide for a brand new AMD GPU. So the first thing that you need to do is Google AMD drivers. It's like the first link, and a window like this would open. Here you can type in your card name manually. For example, I have a 7900 XTX and press the search button, or you can go to graphics, Radeon RX, Radeon 7000 and 7900 XTX, and then press the search button. Go to your operating system, and it's usually the second one. The first one is most of the time it's auto detect and install. I usually not do that. It will like automatically detect which system you have and then install that particular driver. I usually download the driver myself, so it's for me it's like the second option all the time. Another thing that you might want to do is install your chipset drivers. So if you have, for example, AMD CPU as well, so go to chipsets, AM5 and B650E, and then just press the search button, and it's the chipset driver that you see here. You do have some other drivers, but I do not use all this functionality. For example, I don't have a RAID setup, nor do I have an NPU. So I'll just skip all these and then just have the chipset drivers. Uh, so after installing the driver, you should see something like this. What you want to do is go to gaming and then go to graphics. If you don't see this particular tab, I think you just need to press the back button. You might be inside a game. Just press the back button and you should see like games and graphics. And just turn on anti-lag here. There are like a whole lot of options here. Most of them can stay off. Uh, the most important one, at least for me here, is anti-lag. Another thing that you might want to do is go to record and stream, go to settings, and then turn on instant replay. This is basically Nvidia's equivalent of shadow play. You can also select the time buffer that you want to store. For example, I have selected 5 minutes, 300 seconds, and then you can say where you want to store. Either you can have a disk-based storage or a system memory storage. If you have 64 GB, there is absolutely no harm in going in system memory because it just takes like 1 GB of it. By the way, if you increase the time, obviously this size will also increase. Another thing that you should do is change the video encoding to AV1. Most modern hardware does support AV1, so if you have it, definitely use it. Just make sure that your video editing tool does support AV1. You can select FPS. There's quite a lot of options there, and then video encoding rates. And if you want to record your microphone as well, there is like a button there, and then like the volume at which your microphone gets recorded. Uh, Talking on that, what you might want to do is check out the key bindings. We'll come to that later. Let's go to performance first. So if you have installed chipset drivers and GPU drivers, what you can do is just like use the driver itself to report all the FPS and all the temps. This can help you not install all the third-party software like MSI Afterburner. So it has like a whole lot of options. You can see GPU utilization, clock speed, temperature, fan speed, and even for CPU, if you have an AMD CPU, it integrates well. You can see the CPU frequency, voltage, temperature, power, almost everything that you would want to see in a uh, locking software. You can turn it on as you want. Overlay, you can enable overlay by clicking on this button, and then there is this game detection overlay as well. If you turn that on, that means it will only turn on when a game is running. Otherwise, it will stay off. So two quite useful tools there. Uh, Last thing you want to do is go to smart technology, and if you have a CPU that supports smart access memory, definitely turn this one on. This can give you some really cool benefit performance improvements depending on the game. Another thing that you want to do is go to settings button, click on the top right, and then go to display. And then if you have a variable rate display monitor, definitely turn this one on. I tend to not use it because I have an HDR monitor and this tends to give me a VRR flicker. If you have an HDR monitor, make sure that you have 10 BPC color depth. And another thing that you need to do is go to like hotkeys. Here are all the shortcuts that you might want to have a look at if you want to turn on particular thing. For example, the instant replay is Control Shift S. The good thing about this is you can change this. If you're coming in from Nvidia, you might be used to Alt F10, so you can definitely change that according to your according to your desired settings. But I tend to use AMD's default. Um, Same for screenshot. I think on Nvidia it's Alt F1. Yeah. Another important tool another important, sorry, key binding is the toggle performance overlay. So if you press Control Shift O, it basically turns on the performance overlay. So you don't need to like go to the driver and then manually turn it on. And yeah, there are whole other hotkeys as well that you might want to have a look at, but this is for like the most primitive basic settings. Uh, and I think with that you should be up and running. There's yeah, thank you, and yeah, good luck. Have fun gaming.